Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna. We could turn this up just a bit. Whoever ours, yeah. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nirvasesha Sunyavari Paskacha Desatarani Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sari Go Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please, no circus. Hare Krishna. So before we get started, and we will be quick, I just wanted to, there's a little history. This, we used to have a banner of Srila Prabhupada here, and we took it down because it was worn out, and it was, it had seen better days, and it wasn't really respectful anymore. And then we had a blank space there. So we were wondering what to do. And I asked Dharma Setu one day, I said, Dharma, what do you think we should put there? And I was thinking maybe we paint the Hare Krishna mantra or Shri Krishna Chaitanya, put some mantra there. And Dharma Setu said, you know what we really should have is a nice picture of Garuda or something for Garuda. Because the pujaris, after they do their arti, traditionally in a Vishnu temple, you turn and you offer arti to Garuda. We'll explain a little later on. So we should have something for Garuda. So it planted the seed. And it's been about almost 3 years. We tried to get a Garuda made by, like they have in Laguna Beach. It was paper mache. We tried to get one made like they have in LA, out of fiberglass. We tried so many different things. None of them worked out. And none of them were really traditional and very nice design. So finally we thought, somebody said, why don't you try India? We tried all kinds of different murti-wallas that get, chipping away on the marble. Finally we found the president of our temple in Jaipur. All of this is multiple emails and phone calls and 3 trips to India. I was in India anyway for different things. So finally the temple president in Jaipur, very nice devotee, because I want to mention the heroes who made this possible, said, I will find you a murti-walla and we will get it done right. No fee, just because he's a devotee. He's a very nice devotee. Pancharatna is his name. So sure enough, and we twice we gave drawings and sketches, and they didn't get it quite. Went back and forth and back and forth. And finally, 2 visits to Jaipur and Rajasthan out in the desert. Finally, we got our Garuda. And then when we got him, then we had Kanchabala. Mataji did some very nice touching up the paint and everything. Then I said to Jamuna, where are we going to put him? Jamuna Prabhu, who's an expert craftsman, he engaged Ratnabhushan in Los Angeles. This brace, Ratnabhushan handcrafted, and to show us it was strong enough, he attached it to the wall and sat on it. He sent me a picture of him sitting on it, said, it will hold him, do not worry, And then Jamuna made that nice backdrop. And then Jamal, I said, we just need a little. And Jamal, all right, made some nice, beautiful gold trim. So all of those are the heroes over a 3-year process to get this done. So it's something very sublime. And also, last but not least, I was thinking not many people were going to come. Everything's online. And so I didn't want to make the devotees, extra endeavor. Devotees are actually working hard. So I didn't mention it. But then I said to Balaram, just half hour ago, I said, Bala, it'd really be nice. I said, it's probably too late. I should have thought, what about Prashadam? Balaram said, we already made it. So, nothing's complete without the distribution of Prashadam. So Balaram Prabhu Ki Jai. So I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. So all of these are the devotees who made this possible. So I also wanted to say something quick. Of course, Ramapati Prabhu, our learned Brahman who expert. This, there's laws of physics, there's laws of chemistry, there's Heisenberg's, gas law or whatever it's called. There's all these different laws and things, and how you manipulate. There's structural lines, structural, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. So how, why, what? Show me the seamless logic that everything else, there's, just like right now, I can turn on my phone, I could shop on Amazon. I'm not going to do that, but, at least until I'm over. But, somebody could be listening to the ball game. There's all kinds of things. But when we used to have a funky, before Papa Manda fixed it, we had a funky sound system, and we would get the police signals sometimes. Remember that? In the middle of Bhagavatam class, it'd pick up some cop car going by, and So all that's flying through the air, and if you have the right device, and you know the science, you can capture it. So why is it unreasonable that the Vedas are a refined science? And there is a way of invoking the presence of these deities, a way of invoking the presence of the Supreme Lord. There's a way of purifying the atmosphere. All of these, this is the subtle, just as in the Western world, I don't want to make it East and West, but for example's sake, in the Western world, they've studied the external world, that which you can, bend and shape and hammer together. In the Vedic world, they've studied the world of consciousness. They've studied the world of higher dimensions. And they have their guidebooks, they have their laws, they have the whole, and it works. So this is not just some blind ritual, but it actually done properly by a saintly Vaishnava Brahmin. It actually has its effect. So there's that. Just a few things I wanted to say, lest people misunderstand what we're doing here. So we are Vaishnavas. That means we are followers of Krishna, of Vishnu, Narayan. Now what does that mean? We're going to talk about it in just a minute. There is an idea that the Vedas and Hinduism actually is a geographical term. It's not actually a statement about a set of beliefs. It comes from the Muslims. They were describing those people who are on the other side of the Sindhu River, which runs through Pakistan. It's about border there. And it was just like we say, they're South American, or we're saying somebody's, whatever they are. It's a geographical definition, Sindhu River. And because in Urdu or the local Arabic, whatever it was, they didn't say their H's, it became Hindu. So it's really just, I'm sorry to offend anybody, but it's a fact. You will not find the word Hindu in the Vedic literatures. What you find is Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma means the eternal occupation of the living entity. What is our actual duty? How does this world operate? What are the laws of God, and how does it operate, and how to act within those laws? That is what the Vedas teach. Sanatan, eternal occupation, eternal duty. With an ultimate goal, samsiddhi haritoshanam, the measure of all activity, according to the Bhagavatam, the Amala Purana, the apex of Vedic literature, that the conclusion is all activity is measured. Is Krishna pleased? Samsiddhi haritoshanam. So that's a preface. I wanted to, this is from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and it's from the Adi Leela, chapter 7, verse 7. And it goes, Swayam Bhagavam Krishna Ekale Ishvara Advitya Nandatmaja Rasika Shekhara. And what it means is, this is Krishna, anyway, I don't want to go too far afield. Krishna, the reservoir of all pleasures, is the supreme personality of Godhead himself, the supreme controller. Key point, no one is greater than or equal to Krishna. Once again, no one is greater than, no one is equal to. He is the supreme controller of all the devas of Garuda, Ganesha, Shiva, all of them. And then it says, and yet he appears as the son of Maharaj Nanda. So that we're going to talk Sunday with Ram Nomi a little bit more. But I also wanted to read, this is from, coincidentally, Bhagavad Gita, also 7th chapter, 7th verse. It goes matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. And the translation is, O conqueror of wealth. It's Krishna speaking to Arjuna. And he says, there's no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me like pearls on a thread. Fantastic example. Everything rests on Krishna. He's the super soul. He's inside every atom. He's sustaining everything. He's present everything. Everything rests on me like pearls on a thread. Now, I won't pick one of the householder husbands because I don't want to embarrass anybody. But suppose householder X wants to buy a gift for his wife. What is a man works from sun to sun? A woman's work is never done. I mean, the mother is the Adi Guru. I mean, there's so finally that boneheaded husband appreciates his wife and wants to give her something nice for all of her service to the family and all that. Adi Guru, first guru, is the mother. So he gets her a pearl necklace. Now, pearl necklaces are expensive. A genuine pearl necklace. So it's all in a nice box. She opens up the little jewelry box, opens it up, and there's a string with one pearl on it. How does she feel? Cheated. I hadn't thought of that. There's a man who knows the truth. Of course, she's pious. She thinks, oh, well, thank you very much, you cheapsteak. But the point is, what makes the necklace beautiful is you don't even see the thread, isn't it? You don't even see it. It's as if it isn't there. Okay. But what happens if you pull that thread out? If that thread snaps, what happens to the beautiful necklace? Scatters everywhere. So even though the beauty of Krishna's mystic power is we do not see him. That's the point being made in the Gita. You can't see it. But Krishna is holding all things together. So he's the supreme controller. No one is equal to or greater than him. So this idea that, well, the Vedas, Hinduism, it's all hodgepodge and you can worship any god. There's so many gods and they're all equaling and compete. It's like some Greek mythology. Zeus gets ticked off and Mercury succeeds and, they're all, it's a whole big hodgepodge of, emotion. But no, there is a divine order. I just for fun, I looked it up in the Bible. I looked it up on Wikipedia. And you know that there's 9 different types of angels? In Christian theology, it's commonly accepted. They're all mentioned in the Bible. There's seraphims, there's cherubs, there's archangels. There's 9, and in each of those categories, there's many, many different angels. So there's God, there's the Supreme, and he has many agents that help execute his will. Some of those angels in Christian theology manage the forces of the universe. Agni, Varuna, the wind, the fire, the sun. This is not a hodgepodge. If you go, Winston Churchill said about Claridge's Hotel, considered the best hotel in the world, at least it used to be. Winston Churchill said, when I die, I don't want to go to heaven. I want to go to Claridge's. Now, Claridge's their ratio is they have 4 employees to every guest. That way they got Now, to manage the entire, and therefore it's considered a top standard, everything is spotless. You think about something and they're there with it, So to manage a hotel, the ratio is 1 to whatever, 1 guest, 4, employees. Krishna, to run the universe, has 33 million? 33 million demigods, different stratus, different devas, and that's why it's all going on smoothly. So we have to understand that within the pantheon of the Vedic worldview, which is not foreign to the Christian idea or anybody at Buddhism, that there's, of course, they don't have a supreme in the Buddhism, but they have an impersonal idea, but that there's a supreme Ishvara, and everyone else is assisting. So Garuda and Ganesha are assistants to the Supreme Lord Krishna. He's Narayan, he's maintaining all living entities, he's Vishnu, he's sustaining all creation, but he's also what he prefers to. Radhanath Maharaj, of course, gave a fantastic answer one time. He was asked, and I think he was quoting from Prabhupada, he was asked, what is the difference between Vishnu and Narayan? What's the time? Okay. What's the difference between Vishnu and Narayan? And he said, Vishnu, Narayan, is God in the office, and Krishna is God at home. Think about it. For managing and everything that, but, and anyone who's got a business life and working, that's a lot of pressure. You got to think about the whole, when are you actually your real self? You go home, you relax, you're surrounded by your loved ones, you loosen up your tie, you're your real self. So Krishna's doing everything. Don't worry. He's maintaining, there's no problem, no gap in the universe. But the highest understanding of Krishna, his full Svayam Bhagavan, is Krishna in Vrindavan, playing as the son of Nanda Maharaj. So just a few more things, and then we'll end. About Garuda personally. Garuda, you'll notice, one will not become Krishna conscious. One will practically not succeed in anything unless there is endeavor, sustained endeavor. And that is described in the Vedas. The Sanskrit word is utsaha, or enthusiasm. You have to lean into it. You have to push forward. So the same thing is there in devotional service. It requires enthusiasm. Also, it's a sign of love. Just like Jamal, I asked him to do this trim work, Now, he could have just done a simple thing, but he really thought about it. It was a lot of work. He wanted to do it nicely for Krishna. All the devotees that I've mentioned in this, process of getting our Guru, they wanted to do something nice for Krishna. So that is love. If you don't love somebody, you give them a TV dinner. Do they still have TV dinners? You stick it in the microwave. It's 6 months old, and you nuke it and eat it like Cro-Magnon man. But, we love Krishna. So the devotees think about it, how to make a nice offering to Krishna, how to have everything pure, everything fresh, nice fruit, nice this and that. So this is love. So we see Garuda. You see how he's posed? How is he posed? Do you see his legs? Anyone know why he has one leg down, one leg up, one knee up? Because he is ready to go. He's sitting here looking at Krishna. And he's saying, you give me an order, I'm ready. Just tell. He's not even sitting down comfortably. There is one temple, there may be in others, but there's the famous temple in Sri Rangam by Ramanujacharya. They have a huge deity of Vishnu lying down, Lord Narayan lying on Seshanag. He's so big. He's about as big as this room, as I recall. And they have different windows. And the pujari will take a ghee lamp, because you can't see him all at once. He's too big. So you can see his face, you can see his middle, then you can see, Lakshmi at his lotus feet, massaging his lotus feet. So there, because he's lying down, Vishnu said, okay, you can sit. So it's the only place you see Garuda's, taking a break. He's actually sitting. But here we see he is ready to go. And this is an example to devotees. We should be enthusiastic to serve Krishna. As Krishna has delivered us, we should be, where's the gratitude? As Vaisheshika Prabhu says in that fantastic sutra, he's the king of sutras, Bhakti epitomizes the attitude of gratitude. The attitude, Prabhupada says, if I say, and this is just for example's sake, but if I say to Bhakti Alex, can you get me a glass of water? And Alex says, Jai Swami, and sits there. I say, Alex, can you get me a glass of water? Alex says, Jai Swami, Jai. He heard me, but what's the proof that he actually heard me? He gets up and does it. And he doesn't take 6 years and stops to chit-chat and thinks, this is too much work. He's probably not thirsty anymore. Yeah, I came prepared. Anyway, no, yeah, exactly. So many rationales. No, but he's thinking, let me do it. So if we love Krishna, let's do it. That's utsaha. You'll also find that bhaktas, we're just chanting, my father said, don't you ever get bored in that cloistered, movement, just, ringing bells and eating rice, and don't you get bored? So they have this idea that that's all the devotees do. But frankly, because the devotees are not completely covered by the modes of material nature and have a headache and, bogged down by all kinds of sinful, nasty habits, devotees are focused. Devotees are energetic. Devotees are thinking how to work hard for Krishna. So you do not find that bhakti is not idle. It is not static. Anyone know? Dvita, our poet, I just thought of it. There's static, and what is the opposite? Ecstatic. The devotees are active in love for Krishna. So we see that when you look at Garuda, when you see him, you can think how eager he is to serve Krishna. And let me imbibe that, because that will help me advance in spiritual life. So we'll just finish up something about Ganeshji. Now, this is from Bhagavad Gita 10:22. Because of time, I'll just read the English. So Krishna says, "Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences. For in every respect, I am the source of the demigods and sages." People say, "Oh, I know Bhagavad Gita. Do your duty." Well, okay, but Krishna says, "Sarva dharma parityaja," give up all your material duties, and your real duty is to serve me. So they completely miss it. And, there's so many gods. No, Krishna, so many gods. You worship whoever you like. What is it? Who's the guy? I won't mention the name. As many persons, that many paths. Yeta, was it? Yetamat. Whatever path you like, it works. Tell that to your GPS. We just went out to feed our two sons in Tucson and Phoenix. Mukunda and I were sharing the drawing. Did we just say, we're just going to go? We know that it's east, and it's not the arrival, it's the journey. Well, see how long that lasts when you're lost in Yuma, and there's humans and humans. You're thinking, hey, I want to get to Arizona. I want to get to where I'm going. So what does Bhagavad Gita actually say? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, "I am the source of the demigods and sages." So we've heard him say he's like pearls on a thread. Everything rests on him. We've heard from Chaitanya Charitamrita. He's the supreme Ishvara, even though he's playing in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. And here he's the source of the demigods and sages. And people who think about it. If you have a friend, and not really a friend, you'll understand what I'm saying. The only time he comes to your house is when he wants something. Wants to borrow a tool, wants to borrow some money. His wife threw him out of the house. He wants to spend the night, whatever it is. Is that really your friend? What do you think? Do you think of that person as a friend? The doorbell rings and you think, well, oh, geez, what does he want this time? So think about it. Ganesh, all the time, people are, make my business successful. I want my kid to get good grades on his, college, whatever, give me this, give me that, clear my path, get rid of my rivals. Give me, I want. Do you think Ganesh is happy with those prayers? He does it in his job. If you're karma and deserve and fate and destiny and all those factors are there too. But he does it begrudgingly. So everyone's coming and asking asking Ganesh, give me. Give me this, give me that, give me. I'll give you an example. And I promise we'll end within 7 minutes. Time me. Okay. Now I'm thinking I have to keep my word. There was a man who was... he heard that if you offer a goat to the goddess Kali, you'll get what you want. So he went, offered his prayer, goddess Kali in her duty there, trying to uplift the people of mode of ignorance, at least do something. So she said, okay. What he said to the goddess Kali, he said, listen, you give me the benediction, then I'll give you the goat. What they say, like COD, cash on delivery. So, when you deliver, then I'll give you the goat. So she gave him the benediction, but he didn't give the goat. He came back sometime later. Durga said, listen, you made a promise. Where's the goat? He said, goats are really expensive. He said, can I offer you a chicken? She said, all right, well, you can offer a chicken, but do it. Time went by, no chicken. She said, hey, where's the chicken? She said, they run so fast, they're hard to catch. Finally, he gets down to the point, says, can I offer you a fly? She says, all right, but do it. Nothing happens. After some time, he says, so many flies are buzzing around. Can't you just catch it yourself? So how is that? Where is the service? Where is the love? What are we talking? So people are always asking Ganesh, what kind of prayer does Ganesh like to hear? Because remember that Ganesh is a devotee. What does he like to hear? He likes it when a devotee comes to the temple and sees Ganesh and says, please, Ganeshji, please, cleanse my heart, clear my offenses, help me realize how can I advance in Krishna consciousness. How can I get Krishna's lotus feet? Please show me the path. Please clear that path for me. You think he likes that kind of prayer? Yeah. That's what he lives for. And it's another example is how one of the secrets, just like walking in the door, we'll end here, walking in the door, it's beginning the path of devotional service. And we have Ganesh there serving the Vaishnavas. Can someone connect the dots for me? If I want to advance, and who doesn't, if we're serious, utsaha, we want to make progress, if we want to advance in devotional service, what is one of the keys, beginning precursor, opens the door that we see in Ganesh at the front door? Serving the lotus feet of Vaishnavas. How can I serve the devotees? If we have that mood, as Ganesh is showing us here, that will allow us to enter the house of Bhakti. So we can end there. Thank you for sitting so patiently. And thanks to everyone who made this possible. Hare Krishna. Now it's